Normally, I don't like to review things already done by other critics. My MLP reviews are an obvious exception. This is because usually I feel that they've done a good enough job blasting whatever's being reviewed. However, this fascinating little thing is so mind-blowingly bad that I couldn't just leave it to the wayside, despite being reviewed by both TV Trash and Huey's animated movie reviews. It's also a drop pilot, so I don't have to worry about copyright issues. And by the way, bite me, Fox! I figured out how to get around Hasbro, I figured out how to get around Viacom, and I'll figure out how to get around you. And when I do, it's going to be one hell of a marathon on your ass. Yes, the Groovenians is a dropped pilot, which doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so my information on this thing is very limited. What I do know is that this was only aired twice, ever, and then it was never heard of again, until internet reviewers started digging it up. It was created by a surrealist painter, Kenny Scharf. And yeah, it looks like it was created by a surrealist painter, with no outside input from anyone else. You know what? I'm just stalling. Let's begin this thing. The first thing you'll notice is probably what they blew their entire budget on. The opening sequence is sung by the B-52s. You may be familiar with some of their other work. They are also the artists behind Rock Lobster. As for what Rotomagic is, I have no fucking clue. And maybe it's a good thing I don't know, because the animation in this thing is horrible. The best way I can describe it is stop-motion CGI. To put things in perspective, this is an FMV for the first Silent Hill game, which came out in 1999. This came out in 2002 and didn't have a console's limitations. It starts with us going through space to find a nice quiet night on a place called Planet Jeepers. When...
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the newest act from the Glindian jet duo called Zoo Zippowow.
What the fuck? I don't know where to begin. First of all, what's wrong with their eyes? Those things. They stare directly into your soul. And it's honest to God creepy. Secondly, who the fuck are they talking to? Yeah, that's a thing. Their dog thing makes random animal sounds because comedy? They're definitely doing some kind of performance, art, but I don't know who they're performing for. It ends with the guy falling down on his Lego lawn. Ouch.
Poetry in slow motion.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A free love noise, funny, funny.
Oh, the ways I'm going to despise thee. Perhaps you are a pushover who just lets things happen to himself. Or maybe you become lost in your own little world. Or perhaps your pathetic voice grates on my ears. Eventually, the parents of one of them see what they're doing and call it a disgrace. They're not wrong. And they decide to give our two protagonists, Jet and Glindy, a good talking to.
I don't know, Jet. The people around here just don't understand.
Perhaps that's because you're shouting it out on the lawn in the middle of the night. I like art as much as the next guy, but there's a time and a place for it. And your front lawn is not a place for interpretive dance.
How can they? They've never felt the warm glow of creative juice wash all over them.
Ew?
We give our lives to love, fun, and art.
And now we come to the main problem with this thing. It's half-assed moral. It's trying to teach that fun and art should be the most important things in our lives. And anyone who says that you should put your priorities somewhere else is just being stuck up and boring. The moral falls in on itself. And considering that this was made by an actual artist, it seems like it was just a half-assed way to vent some complaints. Jet and Glindy are talking about how they don't want to live on Jeepers because no one there can see their artistic visions.
I have artistic potential.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Then a giant floating brick comes by and dumps this guy here. This is apparently Nixon, and he disappeared a while back. Apparently he, let's let the man explain.
Guys, I found a place. The place, man. Man, it was great. It's a place where you could be anything you want to be. Where all the hipsters seek refuge.
Can I have some? On second thought, whatever the fuck he was smoking probably inspired this shit, so he can keep it.
What's this place called?
Marijuana.
Ooh, Groovenia.
No, I said marijuana. And suddenly Nixon starts to sing. You thought that the Showstoppers performance was bad? Get an earful of this.
Here's the place to be. Fun for you and fun for me. Groovenia is all I see. Money back guarantee.
Do you know what the sad part is? Of the songs in this thing, that's probably the best of them. Title sequence notwithstanding. And I have no idea why, since the guys who did the music for the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games should be able to produce something of quality. Eventually Nixon's, grandmother comes outside and drags him inside by the ear. Thank you. Nixon instructs Jet and Glindy to go to Groovenia and gives them his key, and apparently the lawn is long enough for him to give a long-winded set of instructions. They're about to go to that place when their parents call them inside. It's time for them to start taking on life's responsibilities. The father got Glindy a job as a filing secretary and goes over all the bad parts of the job. Wait, so their parents want them to be miserable? Yes, kids, if your parents want you to stop having fun and actually take some responsibilities, then in reality they want you to be miserable. You know, writers, sometimes it's okay to use your brain. And they set up a bride for Jet, who is as repulsive as this horrid animation will allow, and they each get taken away.
It's time to bid farewell to Jet, and hello to your exciting new life of greed and boredom.
What? Wait, what? Octopus? What the fuck did...
Lifetime Showcase, I've secured for you a job as an apprentice filing clerk in the 422nd Filing Division of the Master Filers Regiment of the Supreme Filing Battalion.
have to do with fucking octopus?
Gee, I'd say this is getting pretty dramatic.
I wouldn't. What the fuck is octopus? Of course, Jet doesn't marry his bride-to-be, and Glindy runs off with him. Then we all get to go to Silent Hill. I mean, what the fuck? What the hell is the point of this shit? I doubt the bad CG animation will get to anyone, but it still comes the fuck out of nowhere and has no point. I understand that this is a cartoon, but you've got to draw the line of weirdness somewhere. You can't just throw random shit at the screen. I mean, this isn't a surreal painting. Oh wait, they eventually make it to the airport and are on their way to Groovenia.
Hey, sucker. I'm your flight attendant, Champagne Courvoisier.
Trust me, you don't want to know. Eventually, after I assume that they both lit up and shot up, they arrive at Groovenia, and then we get this thing. Get away from me! Get away from you, fucking thing! Die! Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you assault us with that goddamn monstrosity? That's not all the disturbing imagery we get, by the way.
Oh my, oh me! I see you have a key. Just slide the key inside my slot.
This was made for children, right? Who am I kidding? This is made for stoners by stoners. The tree monster leads them to Nixon's old apartment, and apparently he had some roommates. Oh god, not again! Why does this thing keep shoving lips in my face? It's as creepy as all fuck!
What is this? Why do you talk to Swallow in this way?
Because you're creepy as all fuck! Please die now. So apparently these three just sit around all day. Groovenia, the funnest place in the galaxy. There's a ring at the doorbell, and Suavo sees Glindy, and I don't like where this is going. I really don't like where this is going. Sometime later, Jet knocks on the door, and one of the others comes outside. Jet shows off his pet, and all of a sudden we have a laugh track. I do not know why. There hasn't been a laugh track before now, and nothing funny happened. It's just the dog barking like a seal. Suddenly, Pee-wee's clock springs to life, and... No, trust me, Pinky. I don't think you want to be a part of this one. Guys, what did you put in my drink? So, the story takes a break to have a completely out-of-nowhere dance segment. Why does every other animation I review seem to have one? By the way, this is some of the worst CG animation that I've ever seen. Sometime later, the plot seems to break in. The normals. The normals, really. Get it? Because non-artists are robots with no soul. Money! And only care about money. So these three are paying their taxes to the normals because...
Every hipster's got to pay their dues.
And Nixon got kicked out because he never paid his. Yeah, I can believe that. Enter Norman, king of the normals, who has the exact same voice as the father. I wonder if there's a connection.
You creative little insects think the whole universe is about love and art. How pretentious.
You know, as an artist myself, I kinda like this guy. Like I said before, the moral, if you can call it that, falls flat on its face.
You just want to do your art and have fun, huh? Well, it's not that simple. You have to pay the piper for it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the whole problem with this. A much better moral is perspective. Keeping money in mind, but not letting that be your primary motivator. As Walt Disney said, He didn't make movies to make money, he made money to make movies. And if you make money your primary motivator, you might end up singing a song like this.
Cause it's liquid. Money. Makes me happy. Money. It's where it's at. Money makes my world go round. Money. I'll even tease it from you. Money. But I'll never please it from you. I said sweet money now. Floats my boat.
That was the worst performance we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's up there. This is like the worst song I've ever heard in any animation ever. The guy can't sing. In fact, I don't think he's even trying. The instrumentation sounds like a computer malfunctioning in all of the wrong ways, and the lyrics sound like kindergarten poetry. Jet and Glindy don't have any money to pay these guys with because they never had perspective. However, Glindy fights them back with the power of rainbow colors. Don't say it or you'll have to review it. Don't say it or you'll have to review it. Don't say it or you'll have to review it. So, full of color, they turn on the disco lights that forces the robots to dance and float.
What's happening to me?
Good question, because I have no fucking clue. So, the normals get forced out because drugs. But Norman swears revenge.
Well, what do you think we should do, Lalasha?
Well, let's see. At Groovenia, 24 hours isn't until tomorrow. And tomorrow is another day. Here, have some Juicerino cake.
Yay, I'm going to be evicted tomorrow, but I shouldn't worry because that's an entirely different day. Is there really anything more for me to say? This whole thing is like hearing someone's half-assed, badly animated attempt to complain that no one takes their art seriously, and the world is just a money-grubbing place. I'm sorry to say this, but even career artists need to make money at some point. You'd think that Kenny Scharf, the creative mind behind this bad acid trip, would know this. He's a career artist, and I highly doubt that he does his work for charity. I also don't think that he got his BFA in painting in 1980 for free either. By now, you probably figured out that I really hate idiocy. But if there's something that I hate even more than that, it's pretension.